Hey guys, Nicole here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're jumping right into some more DIY projects. I'm not upcycling antiques today, but I am going to be making these blank signs from Hobby Lobby into something beautiful, hopefully. As you can see, I have some sign ideas laid out for you already, and I'm going to be painting the signs all a little bit different colors so that you can kind of get 3 different ideas for these sign bases. I really like that they're offering these at Hobby Lobby because the biggest thing that holds me back from making more signs for my antique booth is just the time it takes to build the wood signs themselves. So I'm really happy to find these. They're pretty big. I think they're like 30 inches tall by I want to say like 24 inches wide or 20 inches wide. So they're really good size to work with. And I mean, they're essentially ready to go. So I'm really excited to be working with these today. First things first, I'm going to be staining all 3 of the frames, just like a medium brown color, which is my favorite. I'm also going to stain the word hello. And then for this sign here, I think this is the wreath I'm going to use, and I'm going to do a gingham background for that one. For this one, I actually think I'm going to do a navy background. I really like navy for springtime, and I don't do a lot of different colors besides white and black, so I think it'll be kind of fun to mix it up a little bit and do the navy sign. And then for this one, I'm going to make it more like a faux chalkboard. So I'm going to paint the background black, and then I'm making my own stencil with my Cricut, and I'm going to be doing the words in white. And then I'll do a white chalk rubbing at the end to make it kind of look like a chalkboard. So that one will be really cute, but that'll be my most time-consuming one probably. But I am ready to get started, so let's do it. I feel like before I start, I need to show you what's going on outside. It is snowing today in Illinois, and I love it so much. So a perfect kind of cozy day to get some projects done inside. Okay guys, I wanted to talk you through how I paint my gingham pattern. Right now I'm starting with my base color, which is almost always some shade of white. I'm doing Old White from Annie Sloan right here for my base color. Took about 3 or 4 coats to get a nice even coverage, but that's pretty typical for a white paint. And after I have my white paint all dry, my background, I'm going to measure out how big I want my stripes to be. And I always start in the center of my board so that my stripe is in the center as opposed to going from left to right. It just looks a lot better if you start in the center. And I'm doing 4-inch stripes here. I'm doing my vertical stripes first. I don't know that it matters if you do vertical or horizontal first. I just was doing vertical here. I don't really have any rhyme or reason to that decision. And then I'm going to be painting off the stripes that I want painted my lightest color, because my lightest color is going to be first. So you can see where there's kind of bigger gaps and then smaller gaps. So the bigger gaps are going to be the parts that are actually painted, and those are my stripes. So I'm starting with my light gray color. This is Empire Gray from General Finishes. It's just a really subtle light gray. And I'm going to be doing all of my vertical stripes in this color. It's a pretty quick process once you have the measuring down. It's just a matter of making sure your tape is well attached so you don't have any leaks. And then I always remove the tape while my paint is still wet. I just feel like that gives me cleaner lines and it doesn't pull up my paint so much. So I pull up my tape right away, as you can see here. And then I'm going to measure for my stripes that need to go the opposite direction next. And then these are going to be like the medium gray stripes. I have these also 4 inches apart, but once again, I measured starting in the center so that I have a perfect centered background. That's kind of hard to explain, but I've done it the other way before, where I would start at the top and it just ends up looking really off. So I really find that it's important to start in the center. And so I'm doing my 4-inch lines again. And like I said, these are going to be my medium color, and I'm using a medium gray here, as you can see in a second. So I mixed this gray so it wasn't quite as dark as the color that came in the can. Sometimes you got to be a little creative like that and get your colors to work together. So once I paint all of my medium gray, I'm not going to remove this tape right away because I actually need to keep it there and tape off the overlapping squares. So right now you can see I have my light gray stripes going one direction, my dark gray stripes going another direction, and where they overlap, that color needs to be even darker. So I know that's kind of confusing. It's really hard to explain, but as you can see, I'm taping off. I need to stop confusing the words paint and tape. So I'm taping off the squares where my 2 gray stripes overlap. So anywhere there's an overlap of gray, I'm taping that off, and I'm about to paint those squares even darker. I hope that made more sense. Today I'm using a graphite gray for the dark squares, but black is pretty traditional too. So just use whatever you have on hand. I feel like the graphite is dark enough that it doesn't make a huge difference. And I'm going to be sanding this afterwards anyway for a more of a rustic finish. So it wasn't super important to me that they be straight black. So now I'm just painting all of the squares where the gray stripes overlap. And as soon as I'm done painting these, I'm going to remove the tape right away. Just for the same reason as before. I like that you can see the final result right away. And also just removing it when the paint is wet. I just have better results than when I wait for it to dry. And there you go, the perfect gingham backdrop for whatever sign you want to make. Okay, so everything was going along really smoothly so far until I was going to do my chalkboard stencil, and the Cricut app is just not cooperating, and I've been trying for literally 3 days to get my design made, and it's just I can't even work on it right now. So I don't know if there's just a ton of people using Cricut right now and it's just too much for the system, but I'm going to have to rethink my design for the chalkboard. So I already had this gathered together cut out in my garage. I have a few of these on hand for different projects, and so I'm going to use this for my chalkboard instead. I'm just going to have it kind of laying on the bottom there, and then just do a mini wreath on top. And I might do a small gingham ribbon on this. I have to go find out what I have on hand, but I want to chalk rub this first, just like I did with the navy sign, And once I have this all assembled and I get all my hanging hardware in the back, I'm pretty much done. And these were 3 pretty quick projects that turned out really beautiful, and I'll show you how they look at the end. All right, I have everything all finished up, left to right. On the left here I have the navy sign. It's pretty hard to tell the navy and the black apart. I'm not even sure it was worth doing navy instead of black, but it's a subtle difference that I really like. That turned out really well, and the middle one was obviously the most time consuming with the gingham background, but I think that one just turned out really cute. I thought about painting the words white, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them wood because I think that looks nice. But it's definitely an opportunity to mix up some colors next time. I could even do it green, that would be pretty cool. So definitely a lot of like options there for creativity for different colors. And then the gather together on the right, that is the black chalkboard sign with the chalk rubbing. The gather together with the mini wreath, and it has a little tiny gingham bow at the top just to complement the white and black. And that is everything today. These projects took me 2 days, but if I would have had time to just sit down and work on them, I probably could have knocked them out in 1 day. Most of the time I was just waiting for the paint to dry. But when I'm home with the kids, I have to stop and start a lot of different times. So altogether though, I mean, for these signs, I feel like 2 days of work isn't too bad. Each sign has about $30 in materials invested into it. That's not really including paint or any of the time that it took me to go buy the things and to assemble everything. So I think in my antique shop I can sell it. I like to at least try to double my money. So I'm gonna shoot for something around 60, 65. But if you're making these not to resell, I mean, what a great gift for $30. Something that you made by yourself, that nobody else is gonna have. It's one of a kind. I just think that would be like a really sweet gift for somebody. And these aren't so big that they'd be hard to find a spot for in most people's homes. I feel like most people have the space for these types, or for this size. Like I said, they're about 30 inches tall, I think, and about 2 feet wide. Well, I mean, I guess it depends how you're hanging them, but anyway, this was a super fun project. I really enjoyed knocking these out.
When I need to make the peanut butter balls.
Really soon.
But I want you to make it right now.
You want peanut butter balls? Okay, well, I need to go now and make some peanut butter balls. That's one of my kids' favorite like little healthy snacks that we make. So if you want that recipe in a different video, let me know. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed these DIY projects. Thanks for watching today. See you in the next video. Bye.